Hello everybody, this is ManuS and it's time to finally wrap up the MTG Arena starter deck series with the Azorius Ascension today. Sorry that it took so long. I've been busy with real life stuff and away for a while, so had to catch up on some real life stuff since I'm back and only managed to do some stuff. But yeah, time for the 10th and final starter deck series for MTG Arena. Let's take a look at the deck list. Okay, so this is the deck. This is kind of a control deck as well, like the Dimir deck, but a bit more mid-rangey maybe, a bit more creature heavy. We have two Snubhorn Sentry as early blocker that also turns into a threat later in the game thanks to Ascend. And as the name already says, Azorius Ascension, this will be likely will be sporting a couple more Ascend cards. Also 2 Opt, just like in the Dimir deck, to help with smoothing out draws, finding cards we need, and also just making use of our mana early on. Then we have a couple of 2-drops, Labyrinth Guardian, and the rest is basically just spells. So 1 Guardian as like early blocker and Embalm for later. Then the removal, Baffling End, and Compulsory Rest as like a makeshift pacifism, and some counter magic, 1 Sensor, 2 Essence Scatter and Negate to at least be doing something reactive on turn 2, since we have no proactive options really. And then there's Expel for Maraska as sort of a catch-all, just a bounce spell that puts the card on top of the library if we already have Ascend, to not lose card advantage or like generate card disadvantage later in the game when the tempo isn't that valuable anymore. Next we have a couple of 3-drops, the Sunscorched Champion, particularly powerful on the Eternalize, because even with discarding a card, generating a 4/4 that gains us 4 life is a really good deal, and the front side of 3 mana 2/3 gain 2 life is also pretty decent. Then we have Slippery Scoundrel, another Ascend card. That is unblockable and has hexproof once we have Ascend, so kind of like a late game threat, but earlier on Scoundrel is pretty weak and bad, but that's why there's only 1. Then we have a Resplendent Griffin, another Ascend card, and yeah, another card that gets a lot better later, but like a 3-cost 2/2 flyer is decent, and later it just grows by +1/+1 each turn it attacks basically, turning it into a real finisher. Then we have more removal, a Desert's Hold that also can gain us 3 life if we have a desert out. The deck has few deserts, but it has them. I think it's like, oh no, actually the deck has 0 deserts. I thought one of these was a desert, but yeah, there's no deserts actually, so no luck for Desert's Hold. It's a bit weird that they put Desert's Hold in here, but not even the cycle deserts or anything to support it, but okay. Don't have to understand their pre-constructed deck building choices. Then we have a Forsake the Worldly, cyclable artifact enchantment removal, just in case, some more counter magic, in Supreme Will and to cancel, and some card draw with Ascend, Secrets of the Golden City, being able to draw us an extra card once we have Ascend. And last but not least, an Edifice of Authority on 3, kind of buys us some time, and yeah, shuts down creatures after you keep them from attacking a bit. You can shut them down harder, but yeah, not that impressive. It's kind of like a bad Icy Manipulator basically. Then we have Vizier of Many Faces, just copy whatever the most powerful thing is that's going on in play, and thanks to the Embalm, generating some card advantage. Some more removal would cast out an Ixalan's Binding to exile whatever is problematic, and then appears Interdiction that gains us some life back, and yeah, just another a bit overpriced pacifism effect. Some more card draw with Hieroglyphic Illuminations, and one Komena's Awakening, another card that we really only want to use once we have Ascend in the late game, but then can act as a way to run away with the game by drawing 2 cards a turn. Then we have a couple more high impact cards. The Mythic of the deck is Angel of Sanctions, pretty powerful creature that lets us get rid of a non-land permanent for as long as it's in play, and also has a very reasonable Embalm cost of 6 if the opponent gets rid of it to try again. Same with Cliffkeeper, pretty annoying flyer with finishing potential that also has a reasonable Embalm to come back, forcing the opponent to once again potentially use 2 cards on the Embalm. And a Spell Swindle to counter some stuff and accelerate us into, for example, Embalm stuff the next turn, or let's just do multiple things a turn. And then we have 2 6-drops to top it off, an Angler Drake, just like in the Dimir deck, 6 mana 4/4 flyer that lets us return target creature to its owner's hand, and a River's Rebuke that returns all non-land permanents target player controls to their owner's hand, so lets us reset the board a bit when we're behind, but it's not super powerful. Then we have 25 lands, 4 duels, Wandering River, 1 Arc of Oraska as another Ascend late game engine, and a Field of Ruin to deal with potential non-basic lands that are problematic. So yeah, that's the deck. Honestly, it doesn't look very powerful. These pre-constructed control decks have a lot of issues without proper sweepers, good removal suit and all that stuff, so I don't have too high hopes for this deck, just like with the Dimir deck basically. But we'll give it a try anyway and see how we're doing. Okay, that's it for the deck list. You know what's up, you know the rough direction of how to approach the deck when playing it as a control deck, and now we'll see it in action and see how it does. So stay tuned for the first game in a moment.